Uh-oh. Well, there he is now. Well, we'll get to that in a minute. Well, first we're just starting, so I will do the bullshit intro. Welcome to Too Punk to Be a Podcast, a podcast that's not a podcast. This is just our bonus content for you, the members of the Punk Hardcore Crossover Crib Facebook group. I am tired and I'm fucking that all up. If you're not a member of the group, go search on Facebook and you will find us. All you gotta do is search Punk Hardcore Crossover Crib, and there we are. If you want to follow this podcast on its own, you can follow it on Twitter and on YouTube here. Subscribe to that. That'd be nice. Thank you. If you want to hear the audio version to go, you can check that out on Spotify and Amazon and Audible and everything but Apple stuff. Good enough? Good enough. So we got the founding father down there joining us already. Right and early. There you go. What's up,
Hello.
Jose?
Hello,
And
sir. How are you?
I'm doing just fine. And we got the amazing, as always, the legendary Nick Brown,
How's everybody doing tonight?
the whiskey and taco
Swell.
connoisseur. All right.
Well, first of all, Happy New Year and happy belated holidays to everybody. I haven't had a chance to say that, so including everyone who's watching from the page, Happy New Year. I haven't posted anything in a while. It's just I've been busy dealing with some personal shit, but it's I'll get over it like I usually
Oh,
do.
trust me when I tell you, same here. There's been a lot of probably all of us, I think, have been had a rough year
Exactly.
already in the last couple of weeks
Yeah, a
already.
lot of mental shit weighing me down lately, but that's just stuff that I'll get over eventually. So it's fine. We're here now, so that's all that matters. That's all I give a shit about anyway. So
Right on. Well, we'll do as we planned to begin with, since I already had it in mind. We're gonna go back a little bit and tie up some leftovers from last year.
gotcha.
So we are gonna start by talking to Nick a little bit, and you as well, Jose, if you want to jump in. But
Of
we're gonna
course.
talk a little bit about the NoFX breakup thing that was supposed to happen. The update
Mm-hmm.
on that is the they're gonna break up a little more like 2024 because they're going on the last tour, so that's gonna take time. That is coming
Yeah.
from the Punk Aughts. I think I wrote that as, if I want to give them credit, whoever they are. Uh, the cool thing about the final tour is they're gonna play a full album at each show, and they're gonna
Oh,
play
that's
all
pretty
the
cool.
albums eventually.
That's
So
pretty
that's kind of
awesome.
cool.
I didn't
Cool.
know that actually. I didn't read into that. I was actually gonna ask if this was gonna be like the US tour, if this is gonna be a worldwide thing. I can't remember.
It's they. I know they already have a European leg set up of it. I'm
Gotcha.
not sure if they're going to South America. They
Yeah.
do not have a very good track record down there. It seems to be kind
Yeah.
of a shit show every time they go. So I
Yeah.
mean, they might just say, fuck it.
No, right. Major cities for sure, because they have a good record here, and then probably where you guys are at too. I would have so not
I
sure.
don't know. I don't know if NoFX has ever been in North Carolina.
Hmm.
That's something I'm
Oh,
gonna have to look up.
interesting. Yeah, they've been here before. I've seen them a couple times, but I'll definitely support them on this last hurrah. Hopefully, if it's their last hurrah, which it most likely is. So,
All I know is if my lottery numbers hit tomorrow night, yeah, it's I'm flying out to LA to go see them.
yeah, yeah,
Well, you should get a pretty cool album at the LA days. That's the crazy thing is whatever date you get, it just depends on what album you're gonna get. They're gonna play an album of one or another. They're gonna play one album all the way through, and eventually throughout the tour, probably gonna repeat some, but they're gonna play every album throughout. So that's their whole plan, they said, which I think is a really cool way to go about it.
Speaking of
Actually, my
NoFX, Kenny. Speaking of NoFX, have you had a chance to listen to him yet? Because I know
No,
last. No, gotcha.
no, I'm not
Never
doing that
mind.
yet. I'm gonna get there. Gonna get there. We didn't do that just yet. Been doing too much other shit so far. I'm gonna get to
Yeah,
it though. Well, I'll let y'all know when I get around to that whole thing.
yeah.
So from there we have Nick. You also didn't, unless you want to talk more on the tour, you can. There's also the your thoughts on the Fat Mike Punk Museum, which by the way was supposed to start January 13th of this year, but now has been pushed back from what I've seen to March 10th. Have you heard about that? And what do you think?
I've heard about the Punk Museum and kind of have mixed feelings on it. Uh, it's a really cool idea, but now Las Vegas is going to take even more money from me, and I don't even gamble. You know, uh, it's I'm glad they decided to push the date back because if it ain't right, it ain't right. You know, don't open it if it's not right. So I mean, I'll let
I
some other
agree.
people be a guinea pig first before I decide to make a voyage out there. Who knows? You know, maybe I could stop there 1 year for punk rock bowling or something like that.
Yeah.
Jose.
No, I agree. I agree. If it doesn't feel right, you shouldn't do it in the first place. I think that goes with anything, but yeah, especially with a punk rock museum. I like the concept. I agree with the concept, but as Nick said, if it doesn't feel right, probably isn't the right time. So yeah, glad it got pushed back, and hopefully, they'll get around to it when they can. I'm sure they will. So
You know, and
Yeah.
Vegas
Good.
surprised me as a choice because I mean, they originally started
yeah,
out in L.A.
yeah.
Um,
The Vegas thing was the one where I was like, I don't know about that, but
yeah, I mean,
does it make
it's not that
sense?
big of a deal. But
Yeah,
yeah,
does it make sense? If it's on the West Coast, then it makes sense. As long as it's there and not in fucking Cleveland or something like that. You know what I mean? That wouldn't make sense. It has to be
Wichita,
on the West.
Kansas.
You know where I'm getting at. I'm not gonna touch that subject. I'm not. He who shall not be mentioned. Kenny knows what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
A certain little. Yeah, we're not. We're not giving them clout.
Oh damn it, that was on me.
Yeah, no, that's. Back to this punk museum though. Great concept. Doesn't feel right. If it feels right, do it. Whenever doesn't feel right, hold off till the time is right.
Yeah, I'm sure they just needed more time to get everything together. So
Yeah.
there is that. Also, they got the new album coming out again. Ah, fuck, I didn't write the release date. Son of a bitch. It's supposed to be called Double Album. It's a single album, and it's following this single album. Nick.
Mm-hmm.
I I haven't had a chance to listen to the whole album yet, or the single album, but the few tracks I have heard off of it, I'm digging them. But
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, it's I am a bigger fan of them than you guys, so they
I
pretty
like them.
much.
No, I like NoFX. I've got everything up to. Sorry to cut you off. I've got everything up to and including. Let me look at my shelf here real fast. Let me double check.
While he
I
does
think it's
that,
so long.
good.
Pump up the volume. I've got everything up to including that, which is like 2000. So I've got a few things to catch up on. Quite a few
Okay,
albums.
you're not too far back.
Yeah, kind of like in the middle, like a little more than halfway there.
Yeah.
But
So
I
for
like most of it.
Yeah. So for the sake of the YouTube video, I don't know if y'all could tell when there's two people, it's always on the screen, but when it's three of us, can you see all the three screens on y'all's side?
I see myself on the top left. I see you in the middle, and then it jumps to Nick when Nick says something, and it jumps back to you when you say something.
How about to say, because on my
It's
side,
weird.
whoever is talking and it's kind of focused on is outlined in yellow, and you can kind of see. So if it's on them, we can kind of whoever's lighted up there, you can let them finish, and then we can jump
Gotcha.
in, see like that, and then I'll let you go, and then you're lit up. See,
Hmm.
I'm trying to figure this out too. It's a mess.
It's
All
all
right.
right.
Like I said, old people in the internet, right, Nick?
There we go. I switched it. I switched it so I see both of you now. Now I'm on the bottom left, and I see Nick on my right hand side, and
I
you're
just
on the
noticed I
left hand
just
side.
noticed the yellow little block that goes to each screen that's on. I'm like, see, I'm figuring things out.
Yeah, you're outlined in green, Kenny, and Nick has no outline. I have no outline either, so you're the only one outlined. Now Nick is outlined.
Somebody buzz. All right, well, we're doing great. All right, I'll edit that out in the audio. You don't have to listen to that. That's why you should get the
All right.
audio version that you can find right there on Spotify and Audible. Okay, never mind.
Exactly.
The new Iggy album. Anybody listen to the new Iggy Pop?
I heard the track you posted and one other. It's pretty good. I like Iggy. I'll support anything he does.
I love the new one so far. It's we heard the first track, that Frenzy track, and it was pretty rocking. So I thought the whole album was gonna be like that. But then the second thing came out and it was a little different. It had like synthesizers in some of the songs on the
Yeah,
album. It's all over the
yeah.
place, but it's got some really cool diversity. I think it kind of covers every version of Iggy Pop there is and on the whole album. So I loved it, man. I think it's really cool.
I was gonna call it a period release where it kind of like encompasses his like the rock and stuff from the Stooges, a little more slow pace stuff, the '80s synthesizer, certain period he went through, and still has a modern sound. It's a period release to my ears, I feel. The stuff I've heard. Like you said, it outlines from his beginnings to where he is now, I feel.
It does. It
It's
really
good.
does.
I
Because
dig it.
all of his
So,
different styles are there. Nick, you anything on that? No?
I've heard one song. I don't remember the name of it, and I know there was another one on my release radar on Spotify playlist. So I'm gonna hit that up tomorrow. And hey,
yeah.
if it's a banger, I'll download the album, listen to the whole thing.
Oh, it's a
Exactly.
fun fucking record, man. It's pretty fun. It's got the rocking stuff. It's got the slanky, swanky fucking Iggy stuff that just kind of grooves. It has that weird shit where he's just using his deep voice and saying weird stuff. It's good time, man. It's a good time. I like it. All right.
I did too.
Well,
Talk about
any
that little the I was gonna ask you about it has nothing to do with it, just on the wanted you to comment on the record sale that you were talking to me about, remember? You got the one
uh
7 seconds album. We talked about the At the
nice.
Drive-In one, which I still haven't looked into. I don't think it's
Yeah,
new because they've been broken up for decades now, 23
no,
years.
the 7 seconds album is I think it's from
It's the last one they did.
2017. Yeah,
Yeah, it's the last one they've
2017.
done. It's the last one they've done. I
Yeah, I just
kind of,
ordered
I
it for
don't
the hell
know.
of it.
Yeah, you'll like it. There's some good songs. Not where I would start off, but you'll like it.
If anyone wants, there's if you go to Rise Records, they have a pretty
Rise
cheap sale
Records.
on stuff. It's like $7 for records. That's on clearance, and they got a bunch of random shit on there. Most of the stuff on there is not my thing, but I've
I
managed to
saw
dig up a couple things for $10. It's cool with me.
I saw 18 Visions on there, and though I'm not a fan of their later, more recent stuff, I went back to the old stuff, like the metalcore stuff, and I was like, wow, I remember this. You know, their old stuff's pretty good. Kind of like Poison the Well when they first started. The first couple releases, they were pretty good. I feel you're probably like, who the fuck are these bands? But they're I don't know.
Well, since everything was
I've
on
heard of
sale,
Poison
oh,
the Well.
good. What's that?
I've heard of Poison the Well. I'm not sure that I've actually listened to them.
Yeah, their first EP and their first record are really good. The one with the blue cover, I forget the name of it for the life of me. I don't have it on me, but
What year did it come out?
I'm thinking like
You had to
99,
guess.
97. Yeah.
Oh,
Really old, like later turn of the century for sure. Like 99, 2000. 2000
Jesus.
the latest. Yeah, it's old.
No, I was talking about me.
Oh, okay.
I graduated high school in '97.
Yeah. Crazy. 12 years later for me. Oh, nine.
I was in
Should have been 08, but
99.
should have been 08, but I tore my ACL skateboarding and I got held back a year. Well.
Well, other than that, for now, I guess we can skip on over to the meat of the matter and what we're here for. And then if we got any other bullshit y'all want to do after, we can do that if y'all have time. But for now, we'll get
Yeah.
to what we're here for, which is Nick's topic this week. So we might do that. We'll kind of take turns each week or something like that, trying to pick a topic or
Yeah.
something. But
Yeah.
we'll
Be
go
my
with
guest.
Nick's since we had this one again from last year that we didn't get to do. We're gonna do basically it's the Epitaph history to me, like the history of the Epitaph, their story of the record label as told on the O Rama DVD. We watched it on YouTube because that's how it is. And Nick, this was your idea, so I'll pitch it to you first if you want to talk about why you brought it up and wanted to talk about it.
Well, it's Punkorama's compilations was like one of the very first compilations I'd ever bought. It was shit. It had to have been like 94, 95. You know,
They've been out for that
Green Day.
long?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Green Day was just starting to pop off. The Offspring was just starting to pop off, and I think that was the reason why I bought it was
Yeah.
because the Offspring were on it. I'm like, I don't know who any of these other bands are, but you know, it was like $1.99 at Hot Topic when Hot Topic actually sold punk shit. Fuck it, I got $2 to spend. If it's only for one song that I hadn't heard of, fuck it.
Yeah.
threw it in the CD player, and I'm just like, what the fuck is this? You know, it's kind of like a kid and finding your dad's stack of Playboys. You're just like, I have the mother lode here. So I mean, I learned about Bad Religion. I learned about Rancid. I learned about uh
I had the first one, I think. The first Punk O Rama. It's got like
yeah,
Down by Law, Pennywise is on it,
yep,
or Rich Kids on LSD is on
yep.
it. A lot of
Zeke is
really
on
good shit. Yeah, Zeke is on it. Absolutely. That's the one
uh
I have.
Total Chaos. And
Good
I was
band.
like, I'm like, okay, this is what punk should sound like. I went and bought their album, and that was the one weird song. They did not sound anything like that. I was so let down afterwards.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, it's the Punkorama compilations. I mean, they did 10 of them. Fun fact: NoFX was on every single one except number 9 for some reason. And throughout the whole compilation series, they have over 80 bands participate. You know, I mean, it's during the later years, they started to expand the bands that they were having on there. I mean, you had a couple hip hop songs, you had on some emo songs. It got a little weird there at the end. It's still mostly quality stuff,
Yeah.
but you know, I mean, it was just one of the very first compilation series that I got into and like heavily invested in.
Punk O Rama, first one was what, 94, you said? Right?
I think so.
I think mid 90s. Early to mid 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, great bands. If you don't know who Rich Kids on LSD is, Kenny, it's RKL. Probably heard
Yeah.
You probably heard it abbreviated. Yeah, same band. Same band. Rich Kid on LSD. That's what it stands for. RKL.
Yep.
Band
Well,
called Down by Law, who really good too. Big fan of.
the video you sent us
That's
made.
actually
I'm sorry.
Oh no, I said the video you had
no, no,
sent
no,
us. Oh, good. Go ahead, Jose.
no, no, no. I wasn't gonna say anything. Go ahead.
Fair enough. The video you had sent us in the messages that time, if that's what you were meaning to even talk about, I think was like I said, it was kind of like a history of
Epitaph.
Epitaph
Yeah,
itself.
you know what? I had just rewatched that not too long before we started this, and I actually thought it was about the Punkorama series, not the history of the label.
No.
But I mean, they still have a really interesting story,
Yeah, that's what I ended
especially
up writing this whole show
Very.
about, so I didn't know.
Very.
well, it's a good thing I rewatched it real quick.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
what I thought you were meaning to do. Like, oh, we should do this. I'm like, cool. History of Epitaph would be a cool fucking show. So that's what I ended up doing.
Okay, we still keep riffing off of this.
But we could cover that a little bit. I could skip some of it, and we can talk about whatever else y'all want on top of that. But like I said, I got pretty detailed notes about it because I thought that's what you wanted to do. The
yeah.
video it kind of opens up with like Brett and all the people that ended up working there, and kind of how they were talking about how they wanted to be a record label that didn't want to screw their bands over like everybody else, and how it was a family and all that happy shit. And he said he got the name Epitaph from a King Crimson song. I thought that was interesting.
The song Epitaph, yeah, from the Court of the Crimson King album. The song Epitaph. It's weird, right? How you got the name from that.
Yeah, of
It's
all things for a punk label. Let's go to a prog band.
it's a good name though. Epitaph Records. It's like, the name is synonymous. No one thinks of the King Crimson song these days. It's the record label. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
The
they
fuck is a King Crimson? Fucking
they
Epitaph.
they had put out that Vandals
I like King
album, and
Crimson.
that one kind of flopped, and the label almost kind of quit at that point. But then came the NoFX and Bad Religion and Pennywise and all that stuff, and it started to
Agnostic
roll
Front
for them.
later
And
on.
yeah,
Agnostic Front later on. They had a great 3 albums with them. So. Who else is on that? Dropkick Murphys is on Epitaph too, aren't they?
They were for
Or
a
were
while.
they were? Yeah, they were for a bit too. I remember. So
Yeah,
was
because
Pennywise. I knew.
I know they were on Tang for a minute, and
Yeah,
they're on Epitaph, and I'm not sure who they're with now. I think they might be with the major label.
I think so too. Yeah,
Don't quote me on that. I'm not 100%.
I think. I think because I know, like right now, I think they have well, obviously Bad Religion's still on there. Converges with them now too. I think Converges on Epitaph now. Who I'm a big fan of. They still have some
Right.
heavy hitters. You know what I mean? Part of the old guard from back then,
Right.
bands that we know of, and Bad Religion's always going to be synonymous with that. So you think of
Well,
Epitaph,
I mean, it's really funny. It's Bad Religion's breakout album. I mean, to me was Truth is Stranger Than Fiction. Is
yeah,
that the name of the album?
yeah, Stranger Than Fiction. What's his- that's like the sixth or seventh album. It's crazy.
Yeah, and
If
that was the one that they weren't on Epitaph for. They left Epitaph for.
yeah, that's if we're counting the second record, which is Into the Unknown, which is their like prog release that no one remembers and no one even knows about. I don't know if you guys heard it. It never came out on CD.
Right.
You can't find it anywhere.
It's no, it's impossible. I've been looking for it. It's just really hard. That's the only one I need of all
That's
those
kind of like
early stuff.
that's kind of like the two Pennywise albums. The one that they released on MySpace Records back in the
Yes.
day, and then the other one when
Yes.
they had Zoli. I'm going to butcher this man's last name. Taligus from
Yeah.
Ignite.
From Ignite. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
hmm
you can't find that anywhere. It's
No. It's
I
so
think it's on
weird.
Spotify, but I mean, it's Jim refuses to perform any of those songs, which I kind of understand. But I mean, that's a fucking killer album.
Which one, Into the Unknown? Or the you're talking about the Pennywise.
The one with the guy from Ignite, the
Oh
Pennywise
yeah, yeah,
album.
yeah. The
Yeah,
Pennywise one. Yeah, absolutely. No, it's a good album. But like you said, it's really hard to find. There's some
exactly.
albums, those three are on my list. The Bad Religion, the second one, which I'll never find, but I'm gonna keep looking anyway. I'll find it somehow, but it's super hard to find.
I
It's
mean,
so
it's
weird too.
the hunt is all the excitement.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely,
That's like
absolutely.
me finding the original version of AFI's first EP. It's they only pressed 500 of them,
Oh,
and they only know where like half of them are.
yeah,
I have repressings of it,
me too.
but we won't get into that right now.
I don't have the original. I came close, but someone someone got to it before I did.
Ah, shit.
Yeah, I remember coming into it and I told the guy to set it aside, but he only set it aside for 2 hours. What an asshole. The- like within the first hour that he put it on hold, it was gone, apparently. So what a bitch.
That sucks.
It was for a good deal too. I was like, I was so mad. So mad.
We'll
So
talk
mad.
offline about how much.
It's a three-figure number, but it's not as high as you think.
Okay, it's we could talk offline about it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's not that anymore. So,
So
wow. First EFI EP, that's pretty crazy.
yeah, it is. So
What,
back
what
to
was their
the
first?
oh good.
Back to Epitaph. Back to Epitaph.
No, it's okay.
No, back to Epitaph. Stranger Than Fiction. Is that the only one that did not come out on Epitaph, I think, right? Stranger Than Fiction. Did they do another one outside of Epitaph? Bad Religion. The next one?
Fuck, I don't
I
know.
don't remember. Fuck, I don't remember. They got so much shit out, but yeah, I love most of
Exactly.
it.
It was the one with 21st Century Digital Boy on it. That was the first one that they did off of Epitaph.
When they went big, it's on Stranger Than Fiction, but it was on Against the Grain also, like the original version, which is like different.
Okay,
But the one everyone knows is on that Stranger Than Fiction, like 94 release.
gotcha.
hmm Back to Kenny.
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, y'all doing great, man. On the video, So it says that I guess kind of where they started to break out with the record label, Pennywise's Unknown Road sold like 100,000, which for them being a small label, they were like, wow, that's huge, right? They had to, I don't know if you remember that part of the video, Nick, where they talked about the big fight they had at the release party. That was a good time. I like that part of the video. That was funny.
And how Fletcher went to jail that night.
Yeah. And that's right around 1994, man. In 1994, Epitaph really breaks out, and that's where The Offspring happens and Smash. Man, I heard that album forever, and like, of course, you've heard it a billion times on radio, and obviously, that's the first time I would have heard it. But man, that album doesn't sound like it came from an independent label, man. It really doesn't. This the fucking
No,
production on that sounds like it came from some major label. It really does.
but it's on Epitaph. Yeah, Smash. Great album. Stupid dumb shit, goddamn motherfucker. Yeah, it's a great album. I love Offspring. Not my favorite Offspring, but it's Smash. You know.
It's the one that got everybody in Offspring. I mean, and then you go back and look at their other two, and you're like, you know what, this isn't bad either, but I mean, it's not as good as Smash.
Mine was actually Ignition. That's the one that got me into them.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, Ignition, which I think was before.
It was the one
Early,
before.
early. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
that was Jennifer Lost the War, right?
yeah. That's the one that got me into them.
Great fucking
And then
song.
it's weird because I skipped Smash and then went into Ixnay. And when I heard Gone Away, I was just like, yeah, these
Dude,
guys are the shit.
Ixnay is so fucking underrated.
It's so great, so great, so
Yeah.
great. To me, their last great release, great. But even though I'm kind of warming up to them, kind of a little bit, you know. I do like Can't Repeat, which is like the song they did after when they broke up and shit. But you know, for a little bit, but then they came back. But yeah, Ixnay is fantastic. It's like heavier than Smash, if that's even possible.
If
For
you
Gone
ever
Away.
get a chance, go on YouTube and look up they do an acoustic version of shit, what's the name of the fucking song?
As long as it's not my friend's got a girlfriend.
No.
I hate that fucking
Oh,
song.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
God, I'm having
damn.
a brain fart. What's the name of the
Yeah,
damn song?
self-esteem?
That's it. Yep.
Self-esteem,
But
yep.
yeah. And they do an acoustic version of it, and Noodles is playing like a $25 ukulele that he got like at some corner store. It's just
great.
funny as shit to hear.
I'll check it out for sure.
Yeah, I mean, they did it for some radio station. They might have been hungover because it was some radio station morning show.
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah, no, I mean it's worth the 5 minutes of your life.
I'm gonna write it down right now. Self-esteem acoustic. Alrighty. Self-esteem acoustic on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
What was the radio show called?
I don't remember off the top of my head. If you just search that, it will come up.
Radio show. Okay. Radio show. Got it. Okay, just wrote it down right now. That's gonna be the next first thing I look up after we hang up from this. But back to Kenny.
Good stuff. So right about then, after that, you get the Rancid album like Wolves. You got Green Day on other labels, Bad Religion on other labels, and like that's when you're starting to get all that stuff kind of blowing up, you know. And Brett sends The Offspring to radio, and nobody expects that to actually work, and it did. And it's amazing how that's still such a staple of that.
Big time.
What do you mean punk rock on the radio?
Yeah, you know.
What is that?
Now, of course, now comes that part where you remember all the major labels that they didn't want to be. Well, now all of a sudden they're getting all the money from they got major record labels wanting to buy them out. And of course, much to Brett's credit, he said, "Fuck no," and that's why. Exactly. And this is kind of the bottom line of this whole thing to me. If I never get to it, is in a way they found a way to sell out without actually selling out, and then that's what's pretty fucking cool. They made it all huge, they made this thing huge. They end up having to figure out how to ship and handle all these massive amounts of records, and they're doing it out of garages and houses and warehouses and shit. And they
Hmm.
still just held on and didn't fucking sell it out to all these major labels that were willing to buy all of it from them, and they never did. And that's why they're still here.
See, I'm gonna have to disagree with you about the sellout thing, because what is punk rock about? Do it yourself, and that's exactly
Yeah,
what they fucking stuck to. They
that's what
didn't
I'm
take that
saying.
fucking money. You
That's what I'm
know,
saying. That's
it,
what I'm saying. They found a way to get huge and get it out there without doing the sellout thing.
but they still stuck to their ethos, like Brett said in
Absolutely.
the video. Um, During the job
And they did it.
interviews, you know, who's your boss? And everybody's like, you are. He's like, no,
Yeah.
the bands are. Because
Exactly.
without the bands, we don't have a fucking job. They're the ones writing the music. They're the ones recording this shit. And so, yeah, it's Epitaph is not fucking sellout. Just because you're successful doesn't mean you're a fucking sellout.
Right. And then
They built that shit.
I didn't mean it to sound that bad in that way. I just like they found
Yes,
that
you
way.
did.
No, totally not. What the fuck? I didn't mean that. Oh my gosh. Wow. This show's a fucking train wreck.
I'm
This
joking,
show's a
man.
train wreck.
I was
But
gonna say you're rustling up Jimmy's at this point.
no, I don't even mean it that way. I really didn't. It's like
No,
they just, like I
I
said,
get
they
what you
found a
mean.
way to get it way out there, like way huger than any independent label ever would have been, without ever having to actually do any kind of, selling to a major corporate or any kind of way. And then that's what's
We're
so
just
I
amazing
also
about them.
apologize for sounding like if I was gatekeeping. I'm really not.
Oh, I know.
Me being the old fucking crusty punk that I am.
Well, 94 alone was enough to get it out there. You know what I mean? You got Smash, and then I can't remember if Dookie was on Epitaph, but I'm sure it
No,
was.
it's
No,
No,
they were they
no,
were
it
on a major
wasn't.
label.
That was a major label, yeah, but still, I mean,
they're the
Bro Him
fucking
comes out.
sellouts.
Like, yeah. I did go back to Nimrod. It's not bad, actually, but I'll talk about that later. It's okay. Nimrod's underrated. But
Yes,
yeah.
it is.
Yeah. I know you mentioned that one time, and I went back and I was like, well, let me check this out. Yes.
Okay, not to get off on a Green Day tangent, but I saw them do a cover of Astro Zombies, and goddamn, they fucking nailed
Ah,
it. I
yeah.
mean, he doesn't sound like Danzig, but I mean, it sounded real fucking good.
They're the ones who made that song. They did that Husker Du cover, the Don't Wanna Know If You're What I Don't Wanna Know If You're Lonely. I think they covered that too, which is a great song. Did they do it justice? I'm so used to the original. Jury's out on that still, but and I love that band. But anyway, yeah, Nimrod's underrated. Oh, poor Kenny. Don't feel bad. You're I'm joke. I was just joking about
That's
the
all off
wrestling Jew.
camera, so it doesn't matter. It's fine. Y'all were highlighted. I'm over here in my own little world. It's fine. I did love the part where it's Brett bought the whole full page ad in the fucking Billboard magazine of them and all the Epitaph people flipping off the fucking major corporates, like, ha, we did it on our own. Fuck y'all. That was great.
That was great.
Petty? Fuck yeah, it was, but deserving?
Extremely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Don't take that back. I hope they didn't take that shit back, you know what I mean?
Oh no.
No, fuck
No,
I
no.
mean,
absolutely
they've
not.
been working.
No, yeah.
No, it's the
They've been
crowning
working on for
achievement of the
12,
whole
14
goddamn
years.
thing is that they sold all these massive amounts of albums without any corporate backing whatsoever.
Exactly.
They did it all on their own, and that's really cool shit.
Exactly.
And also the fun one of
Exactly.
my favorite stories on there too is that they gave a half gold record to NoFX for selling quote unquote way the fuck under 500,000 records.
Because 500 is gold, right? So
And
half a record. That's
there you
funny.
go. From there they talk about, from there where they went on and how much it's grown and stuff, and how they have weird shit like Tom Waits and Def Heaven Records and all that stuff on different branches of their label now. Now it's just a huge thing, but pretty cool shit. I thought the history was pretty cool.
I forgot about Tom Waits. You know?
Tom Waits. I love Tom
Oh,
so much.
can't get into Tom Waits. Never could.
No,
Nah.
I didn't know that. What the fuck?
Never could get into one.
Oh my fucking god! I gotta help you out with that, man. Tom's fucking amazing.
Oh, I'll get around to it again.
I'm gonna
But
have
for
to
now,
agree
yeah,
with Jose on this one. Yeah, it's
it's not,
not really for
it's
me.
not for me. Not for me.
It's
No.
just
Nothing
fuck me
against
day,
him.
isn't it?
He's in a movie. He's in a movie called Down by Law, I think. The Jim Jarmusch film. He was in that. That was good. I think he did a good job, but musically, it's not my thing. Sorry.
I think I've seen that movie.
Yeah, Jim Jarmusch. He did. I can't remember who else was in
He's
that.
fucking
I
he's
think I
fucking
have-
Renfield in the fucking vampire in the
All right,
fucking Dracula movie. That shit was badass too,
Let me-
man.
Let me pull the movie out here. That's what he said. So it's him. Let's see. I have it right here. It's Down by Law. So let's see. He's in there, and who else? Yeah, he's in it. It's like a prison film, I think, or I can't remember exactly, but yeah.
That's
Him,
why I wouldn't see it.
Roberto
Okay.
Benigni, and John Lurie. Yeah. 1986. Holy shit. 80s film, but it's in black and white.
I can't believe you people don't like Tom Waits. That's fucking insane.
I don't think I ever mentioned that.
I fucking thought you posted songs from him before even.
No,
I'm going to look into history.
not me. You won't find one. You won't find one.
What the fuck?
You won't find one.
I'm shocked.
You
I
won't
don't know
find
what
one
to
for
say.
me.
All right. Well, anyway, there you go. That's the history of Epitaph and all that shit.
Tom Waits.
The history of Tom Waits. And
Tom Waits. Sound like the WB frog. WB. You guys remember that?
y'all know
Nah.
do you know who Captain Beefheart is? Have you ever heard Captain Beefheart?
Yes. And that's super weird, but I don't mind Captain Beefheart. It's weird. It's
That's absolutely where Tom Waits kind of comes from if you listen to him. If you approach it from that angle, you might kind of get it. He's like Captain Beefheart, but
I don't mind Captain Beefheart.
darker.
Isn't
like the
Captain
shit he did
Beefheart
was-
Primus before Primus?
Kinda. He did shit with Zappa,
Yeah.
which I love.
Yeah. Yeah, Tom
love
Waits.
Frank Zappa.
Tom Waits did some shit with Primus.
I do love Frank Zappa and Captain Beefheart. That's how I got into him because of the Paul Frank connection. But
Right.
but yeah.
Oh well, we're doing like a whole 6 degrees of separation thing.
Mhm.
It's kind of where we've ended up at this point, I think. This whole thing has been off the rails since the fucking beginning.
Epitaph.
Epitaph is Epitaph. That's all I got on it. So there you go. If y'all want to bullshit about anything else, we can. If not, it's whatever to me.
What you been listening to lately? So
Can
I don't
always
know.
do that. Can always do that. I listen to Iggy. I listen to a lot of Jeff Beck, obviously now, because he passed.
That was weird. Who just died? David Crosby or was it Steven Stills? It was David Crosby. Right?
It was Crosby. Yeah.
It was Crosby, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
When I saw that hair, I was like, "Oh shit, it's not Neil Young, is it?" My
No.
heart almost dropped. I'm like, "Damn."
No, I don't mind Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young, but I'm not listening if the Y isn't there. You know, I only listen because of Neil Young, really. Nash is okay. Steven Stills, Steven Stills, I got a little more into later. Crosby's whatever.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
no disrespect
Crosby's
to the
man.
man.
No, of course not. But the Jeff Beck one was kind of
Yeah, Jeff is huge for me. Jeff was one of my favorite guitar players, and of course, Led Zeppelin is going to get me first, right? Of course, I got exposed to Jimmy Page more than anyone, but once I found Jeff Beck, he was a way bigger influence on me for sure.
You know what's so weird?
Even though I'm not that good.
Speaking of Jeff Beck, I've always been into the Jeff Beck group, like the stuff with Rod Stewart and the first four, which is great. It wasn't until recently where I've heard Blow by Blow and Wired for the very first time in my life. Holy shit.
And those two are kind of why he's the least known of the Yardbirds. When you get to Clapton and Jimmy Page, they do that super, accessible
It's
shit
so
that they ended up
incredible.
being.
It's
but Jeff Beck does.
What do you call that?
Jeff Beck's like, fuck it, I'm
jazz
gonna just
fusion?
play funk and blues and jazz and rock all at
Yes.
fucking one time with no vocals.
jazz fusion R&B. It sounds fantastic. It's like
It's
Steely Dan before Steely Dan. It's weird.
oh, it's
I
fucking
love Steely
amazing.
Dan.
But yeah,
It's
no, it wasn't
incredible.
anyone's cup of tea at the time for sure.
No, I heard that he got shit for it, but now it's like everyone loves him, and I was like,
Oh
I can
yeah,
never
now
listen
all
to
of a
him.
sudden he's everyone's favorite guitar player. Go figure that
No,
shit.
I love the Jeff Beck group. Like I said, I never heard Blow by Blow and Wired, and then I heard them again or I heard them for the first time when he passed. I was like, oh, these are really good. Where have I been? I've been listening to the group for so long. I forgot about that. So I
Yeah,
love Truth. You know what I
he's
mean?
got some
His first
crazy
record.
shit. He's got some crazy albums. They're all pretty much instrumental, and they're all over the place genre wise, but it's really
Yeah.
cool stuff.
Yeah, I love those first couple. What is it? Truth is amazing, and Beckola is great too. The two with Rod Stewart, and then he did the Orange album, and what was the other one? The third one, where he kind of went R&B and Cozy Powell's on it. I can't remember,
Yeah.
but they're great. Jeff Beck is on my list too. What else is on your list? What
What
else
you
is on
got?
everyone's list?
I'm about to say what you got, Nick. Any what you been listening to, man?
Tom Waits.
A lot of Tom Waits. Mule variations.
Actually, you know what? I haven't necessarily been listening to too much recently, but I do have my first show that I'm super excited about to go see this year.
Oh,
Um, it's the Queers,
Oh,
Susie Moon, and shit, the Raging Nathans.
never
If you
listened to him.
like, I know I've talked about Susie Moon before. Uh, y'all need to look up the Raging Nathans also. It's fantastic fucking band.
Yeah.
And it just happens to be at the same house or the same place that when we played with the Queers. So, I mean, it's going to be a little nostalgic. Maybe I could sneak into the green room and steal some of their beer like I did last time. And I still have one of those beers.
She's
Every
sitting
time,
in your room.
yeah, it's in my storage right now. But every time that we played at this venue, they had a little mini full of beers for all the bands. And yeah, I noticed the bands who don't drink as hard as others, so I was just like, waste not, want not. There's thirsty kids in India, goddammit. I'm gonna take a 6-pack down in my backpack and just give it to my friends and shit. Fuck it, I don't care.
Kenny's like, did somebody say 6-pack?
God, I wish I'm sober for this episode. That's probably why it's going wrong.
Oh, it's going great.
Ah, you gotta make the beer. Don't let the beer make you. What
Goddamn,
else?
it was when we played with the Dickies.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
What a fun
that's
band.
when I broke in. What's that?
What a fun band, the Dickies.
They are. It's they weren't very warm to the other bands.
Oh wow, that's a
Which,
shame.
yeah, I mean, it's the older guys. It's the younger
Yeah,
guys in the band.
for
They
sure.
were cool and fucking talking with everybody. But
Mhm.
yeah, I went and stole like damn near all their beer.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Fuck it, you know.
You don't want to take a picture. You don't want to talk. Okay. Fuck you.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Well, now they know. Like
Now they know
that
exactly.
motherfucker.
No, they're super old school cats.
Statute of
I get it,
limitations
but
is
it's
over, so it's fine, I guess.
exactly it's statute of limitation.
Oh god, and I think I'm Facebook friends with their drummer. Shit. I might have fucked up.
Don't worry, no one
Ah
watches
man.
this.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, it's a good thing it's a good thing the band's broken up now, so I mean,
Yeah, true. I was gonna say you got that going for you.
yeah.
I do want to shout out for Orphan Riot and their new album that came out. I didn't listen to it. I'm purposely waiting for my copy to come in the mail. I didn't listen to
Oh,
anything
it's so
yet,
good.
but I
It
do
is
want to
so good.
show some love to Orphan Riot because we love them around here, and I encourage everyone to go buy Coffin Curse Records is the thing, and it's only like $13 altogether. So go get a CD from them. They're good people, man.
Or
I'll
hit
look
me
into
up
it.
if you want a T-shirt or something like that. I mean, they don't live too far away from me, and we can work something out.
Okay. Ooh.
Oh,
Oh, I do like t-shirts.
I do like shirts. Like my new Judas Priest shirt that I got from going to see Judas Priest. It was fucking amazing. That was my last show. Got to see the fucking Priest finally. It was unbelievable. Mind
You've
blowing.
never seen Priest? Oh
No,
man.
fucking mind blowing. God damn, they were so good.
Ah,
Fucking
the first
amazing
time I
set
saw
list.
them,
Incredible.
yeah, I never got to see the Ripper Owens. I don't think I did. Did I see Ripper Owens? I did.
Who cares?
It had to be at Os. It had to be at Oscars. I think I saw them with Ripper once, and then I saw Enjoy Retribution. I saw that tour with KK and Gleb Tipton together, and I've seen them many times since. Fun band life. Fun band life. Great
Oh,
life.
they're fucking
Rob's,
amazing. Still, Ralph is like, I mean, for Ralph, fucking Rob's like 70, still killing it, man. Crushing it live. It was amazing. Absolutely amazing.
yeah, he's fantastic. Sabbath is still better, but Priest is great. So, you guys heard of the Dictators, right?
Oh yeah,
There was a band. It's pretty much the same exact band. Manitoba's Wild Kingdom.
not
They
familiar with
only
them.
they only did one album called NU. It's Handsome Dick Manitoba. It's the same guys from the Dictators. It's the same exact band. Came out in '90. Very. You can tell it's them, but it's more hard rock. I think it's more like it's still punky, but it's more hard rock. It's kind of like how would I describe it? It's like I don't know how to describe it. I was gonna say like there's a band called Skid Row that did an album called Slave to the Grind. It's kind of like that same sound, but not glammy. It's just very aggressive. Very New York is what I'll say. Because those guys are from the East, so obviously very hard. That's
Were
what I've
they
been
like?
listening to.
Are they kind of like Green Day, where they have like 4 side projects that they all do together, but they just call themselves something different?
I don't think so. No, this was just a one-off thing. Like it didn't last long. It's pretty much the Dictators just called something different, and it's a different
We don't want to
style
be
of
the
music.
Dictators anymore for this album. We want to be,
Exactly. Yeah.
because
And
we're going to do
Manitoba's
something
Wild
weird.
Kingdom, Manitoba's Wild Kingdom. Yeah, it's really good stuff. Like I said, it's the same guys. I think Rasta Boss is on it. I don't remember. Don't quote me on that.
Okay, that's what's
Rasta
up.
Boss from Manowar. It's great. Great, fantastic. You could probably find it for cheap. If you do pick it up. $1, $2.
Hey, that's what right within my price range right now.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Same here.
yeah, you're lying about that.
Other than that, I've been listening to a lot of salsa music, which is very interesting. I took a break from that for a little bit. Again, with the personal issues I'm currently facing, a lot of that shit's been taking up my time lately. A lot of heartbreak shit's been taking up my time. So we'll leave it at that. But every once in a while I'll go back to the punk shit. So you gotta have a soft side. At least I do. But anyway.
Well, I got one
Oh,
for
what's
you.
Kenny pulling up?
I got one for you. I've been listening to some weird shit. If you've never seen this, there's a documentary on this dude. If you can see this here, it's a dude called Orion. I've listened to a lot of this guy. I went record digging in a weird little shop we have in town. Well, out of town, but this guy, there's a documentary about him called Orion, the Man Who Would Be King, or something of that nature. I'll share something of it if you can find it. It's a great documentary. It's this dude who's like in this little small town, and he sounds exactly like Elvis. His voice is completely like could be Elvis, and he kind of gets popular off of that. And eventually, like when Elvis dies, they the guy from Sun Records, who's a infamously greedy little man. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but
Little
And
man.
something.
he he ended up using his voice on some like Elvis compilations and stuff later. Even is it was so close, and they put him in this mask, which you can't tell from this one. Let me see if I can get one of the actual records here, but here's one.
Oh, he's got more.
This is what I found a bunch of them. That's why I'm talking about him. He looks like this. They put this mask on him, and people that wanted Elvis to be alive so bad were willing to believe that it was Elvis. And so this dude was able, this dude was able to ride off of that for a while. He was on talk shows and stuff, and could it be Elvis? And then like it kind of got to him, and then one day he's like, screw it, he's all hammered, and he's doing coke and probably what else, and strippers and whatnot, and having a great time. He's, you know what, fuck this. They love me for me, and he took the mask off, went played a show, and everybody's like, oh, it's not Elvis. Well, fuck him then. And there he goes back to his life of obscurity. But it's an amazing.
Just fell off the face of the earth.
Yeah, well, he ends up that's the twist in the story is he ends up owning a pawn shop, and just to get by with life, and he ends up getting robbed, and they kill him, and that's really sad. Yeah, but to come to find out, the really cool part of the whole story is, if you look back, I guess Elvis's dad had another son that he had put up for adoption, and Elvis had a half brother that, obviously no one had ever knew. And if you look into where that all happened, it kind of goes to where this dude was born at. So it's like, maybe he could have been the half brother of Elvis, and maybe that's why he sounded so exactly like him. It's a really, really cool story. I've watched it so many times. It's such a good documentary. I'm doing an awful job of explaining it because, of course, I do.
No,
but when you find records like this, like, look at this fucking shit. It's amazing.
I swear, I thought that was an Elvis record. It looks like
I have another one. I went to the store. I'd watched this documentary. I bought the one because this one is like totally insinuating that it's like Elvis back from the grave. You see how it's called Orion Reborn. It's based off this lady who wrote a book and everything. It's crazy stuff. And like, I bought that one, but then I was like just digging through records. They had a whole bunch of his stuff, so I just bought all of them. They're all like $3 or $4 each, and then I was listening to them all. So go check out some Orion. It's really weird stuff. It's like listening to Elvis without having to listen to douchey ass Elvis.
Orion Flash Elvis.
But the
Elvis,
documentary I believe is called Orion, the Man Who Would Be King, or something like that. If you can find it anywhere, I'll see if I can dig it up somewhere and share it. It's really cool stuff.
I wrote it down.
Totally bizarre story that's completely unpunk related, but there you go. If you're willing to get into salsa music, I'll go into some weird shit, and that's what I've been listening to.
That and talk about your love for Stevie Ray Vaughan, SRV.
His guitar tone's terrible.
Oh shit!
Wow.
Oh, hot take.
No, I love unpopular opinions.
Yeah, I don't like Stevie Ray Vaughan's guitar tone. It's as nasally as his voice is, which I guess matches, but I never liked his tone. It annoys me.
Well, that's why it's so good.
He's a great player. Like he's technically really good. I also feel a lot of people's like, oh, like the Little Wing cover, like, oh, it's so much feel. I think he plays that song without any feel whatsoever. It's all wankery.
I kind of prefer his version of Voodoo Child to Jimmy's. Little Wing, I wouldn't say.
That's awful. His cover of that is awful. It's fucking terrible.
I'm also big on live blues shows. Like actual live blues shows. Like
that's what you get for that, like, at Tom Waits, Nick. Don't give me that shit. No, I was playing.
Okay, all right, fair.
Jose likes to bring it up. I don't know why. But,
I don't know if I have unpopular opinions, but they're just not coming to mind right now. I mean, the dead giveaways are I hate Rancid, but
I don't understand it.
You never will.
I probably won't. No, and it's fine.
I listen to every album. I can kind of get it. I kind of get it. They have some good points, but boy, some
multiple times. That's why I can say it. Oh my god, I heard that episode you two did. I was like, really? Like, you like that song? I was like, I hate that song.
No, there is good stuff. There is good stuff.
Let's Go. I'm like,
Let's
really?
Go is a great album.
No.
Let's Go is a good album.
That's where it all started. That's where the hatred started. I was like, ugh. And then No, I'm not getting into it. Fuck
Yeah,
it.
this is the ranted episode all over again.
Yeah, no, we're not getting into that. We're not getting into that. Unpopular opinions. Well, you hate SRV.
I do. Well, I don't hate him. I just don't listen to
No,
him.
don't sugarcoat. No, don't try to take it back now.
I find him. He's like his
Live
technicality
and
of
die
his
by the
playing is
sword.
good, but
Live and die by the sword.
yeah, fuck SRV sucks.
Yeah, SRV. Yeah, exactly. I don't think Jimmy's the GOAT. Is that an unpopular opinion? As far as guitars go? I don't know
I
shit
don't
about
know.
guitars.
Who
I
do you
don't play
think is?
guitars. That's really hard to debate. You know what I mean?
Okay, well then it's an unpopular opinion.
It's an
You don't
unpopular.
have
Yeah, it's an unpopular opinion because I think, like, for example, I love Dimebag Darrell. You know what I mean?
Dimebag
That's
is a real
one.
good player.
Really good. Yeah, good. Really good. Really good.
I mean, it's one of the best. Some
Was
of
one of them
his
for sure.
opinions, though, were kind of sus.
Yeah, terrible. I'm much more of a Vinnie Paul fan because I play drums, so I can tell you
Well,
that
you
he
know,
was a
and
great.
I've seen Pantera one time, and
I
it
saw them
was such a
twice.
fucking great show. But
Chaotic.
there were so many Nazis there, and this is in Southern California, and I was just like, okay, yes, I know I am not Hispanic looking. I
Are
kind
a
of
little
look
bit.
like you guys right now.
You kind of are a little bit, actually. Maybe it's the beard. The really fantastic beard.
Well, thank you, sir. I
It
appreciate that.
is pretty
Yeah, it's a
fantastic.
fantastic beard. No, I can tell you have Hispanic blood in you.
But my first wife, who was with me at that show, she's sitting there and she's going, I don't know if I'm really comfortable with this. And I'm like, I
I
don't
wouldn't be either.
necessarily blame you. So I mean,
I've been
we
to.
just kind of stayed towards the back.
Yeah.
They were all in the pit fucking each other up. And that's fine. We weren't anywhere close to it, and we were closer to the exit than they were. So that was actually their last major tour, the Reinventing the Steel tour, with them, Slayer, Static X,
Slayer,
and
Static X, and there was one band I
Morbid
forgot the
Angel.
name. Morbid. Yep,
Yep.
I remember that show. I think I
Yo,
saw them at
somebody
Ozfest earlier.
this was
But
at
it
the
was
Long
around.
Beach Arena, and somebody snuck some bottle rockets into the fucking venue. And when Slayer was playing, they started lighting them off. So they were hitting the fucking ceiling and bouncing back down, right? Somebody shot one at fucking the band and it whizzed by Kerry King's head. I mean, like 6 inches from his head. He was sitting there just
That
that's
shit's
a
wild.
fucking beat. I'm like, if that's not the most metal shit I've ever fucking seen.
Oh, you want to hear a hot take? I think I mentioned this the other day with Kenny when he and I did the last show. It should have been Kerry King, not Jeff Adam.
What?
No, I said. Remember when I said it should have been Kerry King, not Jeff Hanneman?
Oh, that's fucked. No, man.
No, I'm joking. No, that's fucked up. No, I'm saying because I think Jeff's a better player than Kerry. You know what I mean?
I
He's
think
a better
Kerry
writer
gets
too.
shit on way too much to be fucking honest. I think it's
He's
low
good.
hang. I think I don't even want to say it's too easy to pick on him. I think it's once again it's like
No,
a
here's the
lot of
deal.
other
Like
bands.
everyone,
It's motherfuckers that don't even really listen to what's going on. They just say Kerry's a sucky guitar player. It's fucking dumb.
no, he's a good player, but Jeff is a better writer. And he's a better, he's just all
I
around better, I
disagree.
feel.
I disagree. Jeff is definitely not the better writer. Go listen to the all Jeff albums. They're not the good Slayer albums, like World Painted
Well,
Blood.
as far as
That is
servicing the
awful.
band, he's a better writer. No, the solo shit, we're not even gonna talk about. We're not getting into that. It's like the Joe Perry fucking Brad Whitford conversation too. Like I think Brad Whitford will run circles around Joe. I don't know shit about guitars. You could tell me. Maybe this is just unpopular opinions. I don't know.
Yeah, Joe
Super
Perry's
hot.
not that good. And Joe
No,
Perry's
he's
so bad
not.
they had to get other motherfuckers to play his shit on the albums half the time, like Vic
Exactly.
Wagner. Whitford kicked his ass.
Exactly. Exactly. No, Whitford run circles around them. That's another
Well,
story, though.
Joe Perry would have been good if he was sober.
Probably.
That was never gonna happen. Well, they eventually did, right? But never at that time. No. I guess it's one of those things where you needed drugs to
You want a hot
actually be
take?
good.
You want a hot take? Judas Priest invented metal, not Black Sabbath. Where you think
Oh,
metal and where you think the spikes and leather and motherfucking metal? It's Priest. Sabbath never said none of that
We,
shit. They were just
you
hippies
don't
playing
want to.
heavier music.
You don't want to start that argument, Kenny. We're not starting that argument. We're
They are
not
the
doing it.
founding. They are the founding fathers, but they are not the motherfucking inventors of heavy metal. Down to the look, the sound, and everything all came from Priest.
I'm gonna have to say Iron Maiden.
Maiden invented metal. You
No. Yes. No. Never mind.
No,
I think
Priest is first.
Yes.
I think Priest is way better than Maiden, personally.
Yes.
Way better. Sabbath is better
Well,
than Priest.
again, to go by
To my ears.
better. By better,
Sabbath,
better's a touchy word because I think
I
Maiden is
guess
much more technical.
more pleasing to my ears than or like visually. Yeah, I mean, tough to say
Maiden's
visually.
technical.
Who's
They're
better?
just boring as fuck half the time, especially now.
Oh yeah, yeah. They're boring, but I can still go see Priest, and visually, it's aesthetically pleasing to see. You know what I mean? I've
Okay.
seen Sabbath with Ronnie. I've seen Sabbath with Ozzy. Visually, it's in those days it was pleasing. You know what I mean? To my eyes, anyway. I guess what I'm trying to say, just to end that argument, I think Sabbath is better than Priest because sonically it's a little more pleasing to my ears, especially the Ronnie stuff. Even now, more so than the Ozzy stuff. I'll take Gillen over the Ozzy stuff. You know what I mean? Born Again is my second favorite Sabbath record overall. My top three are Heaven and Hell, Born Again, and Mob Rules in that order. Those are my top three Sabbath records. Neither one of which has anything to do with the Ozzy shit, which I still love.
Yeah,
But
the Ozzy stuff's just way more classic. That's all.
it's way more classic. But I'd rather hear Country Girl. I'd rather hear the Mob Rules. I'd rather hear Heaven and Hell, Die Young. I'd rather hear fucking Zero the Hero. You know what I mean? That's way more pleasing to me. I'll take any of those songs or any of those albums over anything Priest has ever done. And I fucking love Priest. I'll take it over Unleashed in the East, and I fucking love Unleashed
Oh,
in
no
the East. You
fucking
kidding
way.
me?
Nothing's touching
Yes.
Unleashed in the East. Nothing.
Oh, nothing Priest ever did is gonna touch Unleashed in the East. And I love the studio shit. But yeah, those versions of like Exciter and Victim of Changes, yeah, they're fantastic. Of course they are.
Anyway, fun time.
Let
Anything else?
yes,
Y'all good or what y'all got?
hot.
It's a free
I
for
want
all.
to hear more of your. I want to hear more of your hot takes because you got some idiot.
I don't know if I do anymore.
Well,
I don't know if
it's
I
like the
do.
whole. It's like the whole who started punk thing. You know what I mean? Was it this? Was it fucking MC5? Was it the Stooges? Was it the Dolls? Was it the Ramones? Like who the fuck was it? You know what I mean?
They're mouse.
What about Death?
Exactly.
Death.
I'm
That's
glad
the
you brought that
answer.
up.
The answer is death. The end.
Hey, I'm right
Death,
about
right?
something.
Yes, you
Shit.
were. Did a good job. Scream Bloody Gore is the beginning of death metal, the end. and everyone after did better. That's
I
another hot
agree.
take.
No. I don't think Seven Churches started death metal. I agree with you. That's a thrash. That's an extreme.
Oh,
It's a very extreme thrash record for me. But
hold on.
Scream Bloody Gore is definitely the first death metal record for sure. I agree 100%. That's the
I
first
think
one.
I think we're talking about two different bands.
No, I know.
Oh,
For the whole world to, we're talking about for the whole world to see
I'm
death.
sorry.
For the
I'm
whole world
sorry.
to see.
I'm sorry.
Not
See,
death.
I'm a death metal guy. I'm sorry. I'm gonna take that the whole wrong way.
No,
Okay.
I knew I knew what Nick was talking about. I was just responding to Kenny's.
Well, see,
For the whole world to see.
Jose just let me look stupid. Then never mind. I can edit that out. Thanks, Jose, for once again making
Death, Death for the Whole World to See, which was recorded in like what, 70 something.
So timeline wise, they absolutely created punk without knowing it. That's for sure.
Well, punk comes from garage rock, and
I don't think we can give them punk, mainly because they didn't know that's what they were doing.
By today's standards, I call it a punk album. It's
it is
a punk record.
It's 100% a punk album. They I wish it would have been seen at the time. I so wish they would have had that because they totally deserve that. I really wish that would have been a thing.
Yeah. I know you would take them over the Bad Brains.
Well, I'll take Rancid's worst album over the fucking Bad Brains.
Jesus fuck, really?
No, I wouldn't do that. No way. I'm a hardcore fan. I'm a hardcore fan. I love the Bad Brains.
Well, I love their punk albums. When they started doing reggae,
there are none. There are none. Even the first Bad Brains album is more than half. I still haven't done the numbers. I'm gonna. More than half of the first fucking album, they ain't even fucking punk. They got like 4 or 5 like less than 1 minute punk songs, and there's like 8 minutes of fucking reggae like 9 times.
I call bullshit on that. Like 10 of those 14 songs are hardcore classics, dude. Are you serious?
I had to sit through that bullshit. I don't know. I'm gonna go back on the numbers.
Sailing On.
I'm gonna go back on the numbers. Takeover, yeah, but all those fucking songs like less than a minute long, and then you get fucking reggae song that's 9 minutes long all of a sudden.
Super touch. I'm not even looking at my notes. Super touch shit fit. Super touch shit fit. That's 6 songs. That's almost half the record. Intro,
which is like 5 minutes.
Intro,
which is like 5 fucking minutes.
That's half the fucking album. It's not supposed to be exactly.
I know that, but what I'm saying is a majority of the record is fucking reggae just by time. If you go by how much punk is on the album, it's like 5 minutes of 6 songs, and then there's like 3 or 4 songs that are 9 goddamn minutes long of fucking reggae. It's a fucking reggae album.
The only songs on that record that are actually reggae that I will agree. There's 1, 2. There's 3 songs on there that are reggae.
Yeah, like 6 minutes long.
I think Leaving Babylon was reggae, and I Love Aja.
One of those fucking reggae songs is longer than the punk songs are.
Everything else,
do the goddamn numbers. I haven't done it yet. I might be wrong.
The Regulator, Don't Need It. Like, fuck.
That's what it felt like to me.
On the album.
I had to sit through that garbage.
If you're not counting the intro, there's 14 songs. Which I think is funny. The intro's all the way at the end of the album. That's funny. It's not even at the beginning. The intro's at the end. It's so weird. But really, half the records is reggae? Oh, you are out of your mind.
I'm gonna do the numbers.
You are out of your mind.
There's numbers.
Hey, viewers, for this, leave something in the comments, please. Let us know your opinion.
If we had any, the comment section would be
you don't think the Bad Brains are terrible? Come on, man. Oh my god. Do you Eye Against Eye, really? You don't like Eye Against Eye?
No.
That shit's almost thrash. It's not even like the first record, you know what I mean? You would think you'd be into that shit.
Is there 8 minutes of reggae after?
Speaking of Bad Brains, they did a compilation called Black Dot. Or is it Black Dots? Black Dot. Came out in 96. That's like all their demos. Like that's literally their first thing they did. Long before the famous self-titled, like really early on, they just, they put it out as it was originally intended to be heard. It was supposed to be their first release before that, the classic album we just talked about, self-titled Bad Brains. It's great. As far as I remember, there's no reggae shit on there, and that was the first thing that they did, but it came out in 96.
This is the very first I'm hearing about this. I had no idea.
Not. No, it's not.
Check out. It's called Black Dot. Oh. It's Black Dots. It's literally the first record. A lot of the songs on that album, and then there's some songs on there that you probably never heard before, like I'm looking at the list right now. Send you no flowers, or like just another damn song, or like the man won't annoy you, or you're a migraine, shit like that. It's like shit no one's ever heard, or either you've never heard or you forgot about. No reggae, as far as I can tell. For you to call him a glorified reggae man? Oh, Kenny.
Yeah, it's all reggae
Oh,
shit.
they're not
It's
even in my
awful.
top 5 bands, and I'm sticking up for these guys. We gotta do that next episode. Why you hate the Bad Brains so much? But you love Tom Waits.
But yeah, because Tom is fucking brilliant. I would have to go back
So
to my.
Dr. No's not a great guitar player then.
I like
Earl Hudson's not.
out of
Earl
them.
Hudson's
I
a shit
like
drummer.
him. Out
Earl Hudson's a shit drummer.
out of the band, I like Dr. No as a guitar player.
Let's take HR out of the equation, because that's a dead giveaway. Let's take HR out of the equation.
Yeah, let's take
HR.
what makes them complete shit and remove it.
No, are you kidding me?
Really?
No, HR as a frontman? Come on, man.
That dude was fucking crazy. I mean,
Oh, he was.
he still is crazy.
That's
Dude, HR is crazy. Yeah, borderline schizophrenic, like for real. Like
that's the problem.
Yeah,
dude is crazy for real.
Yeah.
But he's a great frontman.
Dude, he's
Legendary
like
frontman.
Will is fucking crazy.
He literally is a crazy dude. Like he's borderline for real crazy.
I'd have to go back to the documentary to make sure I'm right, because I would like to,
like clinically proven to be crazy.
But to me, as far as I remember the documentary being, and I've said this a million times, probably on here, so there's no point in doing the episode of it. But if I remember, they said like the punk community fucking loved them. Everybody loved them. And then they went off and saw Bob Marley or whatever the fuck. And they always had reggae stuff, and that's fine. But they came back wearing the shit and having the fake ass fucking stupid accents. Yo, Rastaman. Like knowing damn well they don't talk like that. And everybody's like, hey, stop doing that. It's kind of posery. And then they started getting all mad and was like, oh, these fucking white boy racist motherfuckers. Like, fuck you. No, they're calling you posers because you're a fucking poser. You're trying to act like something you aren't. That's why they said that. They loved you before. Stop being fake. That's it. And then they want to turn on the people that love them so much because they're calling them out on their fucking bullshit and that they stuck to. And just still pretended to be a fucking reggae band forever.
Well, that would be like me saying I could become a Muslim if I want to, and then when I do, it's like I'm Muslim now. You know what I mean?
You can, but don't walk around like with the fake accent. It look dumb. You can be a Muslim all you
Oh
want.
well, exactly.
Be a Muslim. That's fine. You can be whatever you want. They could like this shit. You can play some reggae, fine, but walk around going, "Oh, Rastafari, man." It's just fucking dumb. And reggae sucks. But that's just me. So that's why I don't like them.
Is that why you hate Sublime?
Oh, I love Sublime.
Oh, but they play white boy reggae.
Yeah, they're like the only thing I like of reggae, maybe. Because they also have a
so no Jimmy
sometimes.
Cliff. No Jimmy Cliff for you then.
It's all the same
no
shit.
Upsetters.
You know, it's all the same shit.
No.
And look, I listen to a lot of shit that sounds like the same shit. I listen to death metal, for fuck's sake. It's all the same shit. Music is repetition, okay? No, check it out. Music
old school
is
death metal is not all the same, man. Old school death metal is not all the same.
I know that.
No.
I know that. But if you're outside of it, it is.
Oh no.
Music is repetition. Music is nothing but repetition. If it's repeating something you like, then you like it. If it's repeating something you don't like, then you're not going to like it. All music is repetition. It's how a beat is created. You're repeating something.
I completely agree with you because there's only so many fucking notes and so many ways to fucking put it in order.
Exactly.
It's all been done right now.
My problem.
It's all been done.
Exactly. Now, my problem with reggae is that a very large majority of it has the exact same goddamn beat behind it. It's all the same goddamn fucking beat over and over and over and over again. There's no variation. It's just there.
It's a reggae beat.
Right.
I will say this about reggae.
And that drives me nuts.
I will say this about reggae drumming.
I can listen to blast beats for an hour. I can't deal with that shit.
I can play a blast beat if I want to. It's very hard. Playing a blast beat is hard, depending how fast you go, depending on your approach. It's really hard. Trust me when I say I've tried playing jazz, I've tried playing reggae on drums. It's very fucking hard to do
I'm sure it is.
because you got to retrain yourself because it's played backwards. Reggae's played backwards. You know what I mean? It's like when you read Arabic, you read it from right to left.
Because it's a
It's kind of
1-3
like that. Like
over
it's not.
2-4, right?
Yeah, it's one. It's yeah, exactly. And then jazz is like, fuck. If you're playing freeform, it's even harder. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Instead of
Oh,
traditional
no,
jazz,
no, no. I'm not even talking about trying to play fucking jazz drums. I mean,
no, it's super fucking hard.
I know
Super
how to keep a
fucking
beat, but I will never consider myself a drummer because nope.
no, bro. Jazz will wipe you out. Like it's
No,
a
it won't
workout in
because
and
I'm
of
not doing
itself. No, I'm saying like it wiped me out when I tried to. I was like, oh no, this is way too hard. Way too hard. You give me a Chromax song, I'll play it. You know, but fucking trying to play Buddy Rich or like Gene Krupa, who I prefer over Buddy Rich personally, but it is
it.
hard.
No, it's. I agree with you on that one. I think Gene Group was better.
Gene Krupa was way better, absolutely.
Yeah.
But what was I saying? Going back to reggae, it's the same beat. Yes, you're right, but like you said, everyone's approach is different.
Yeah, it's just a beat I don't
Going
like.
back, going back to Bad Brains, they're the reason the Beastie Boys existed to begin with. You know what I mean? And fuck, most of the world loves the Beastie Boys. I these days prefer their hardcore stuff to their hip hop stuff, but I love everything they've done for the most part. And
You
their
know,
hardcore stuff isn't that good musically, but it's so
I have
charming.
never listened to it.
No? Oh, I talk about it all the time. Go by if you want it all on one release, there's a compilation called there's two. The first one's called Some Old Bullshit, which has a dog on the cover. I think it's like a golden retriever. It's in black and
Okay.
white. That's got all their old school, like Pollywog Stew era stuff, and then the Cookie Push track, which is like their first hip hop song they ever did. When they transitioned from the hardcore stuff, it's still heavy, like it's still got guitar, but it's hip hop. And there's an EP called Aglio e Olio, which is garlic and oil, I think in Italian.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what Aglio and
Sounds right.
Olio. Garlic and oil in Italian. It's an EP. It's like hand drawn, like little kid on the cover. It's like almost looks like stick figures, but it's good. That came out in between, I think, Sabotage and like Ill Communication and what's the other one? Intergalactic, whatever the fuck it was called. It was in between those two.
Okay.
When they actually picked up their guitars again and drums, their instruments. Those guys know how to play,
Can't stand it. I didn't plan it.
Those guys knew how to play instruments, but again,
Yeah.
the Bad Brains are the reason they even have a career to begin with. So no, the Bad Brains aren't shit. You're just not into it. For some fucking weird reason, you're not into the Bad Brains. I think it's a personal thing. It's
It
very
is.
personal to
It's
you.
very,
It is
very
very personal.
Yeah.
And if it's very personal, then I do understand because the whole personal beef I will never touch. But I was like, I think it might be a personal thing. And if it's that, which now you've confirmed it is, then
Oh,
I
not
won't
like
touch that.
life wise or anything like that.
No, like just a personal belief thing, and like that I'll never touch. Like,
Oh no, I don't give a
that's
fuck about that shit. No, that's fine. You can believe whatever you want. I don't care. Just the music's bad to me. I guess.
I mean, nobody's shitting on each other. We're just sitting here having fun.
no,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
we're just having a discussion. Like, I what's something Kenny likes I don't like? There's a lot of stuff. I mean,
Ghost. Ghost.
oh,
Ghost is awesome.
Fuck yeah, they are.
about to turn his mic off. I hate this fucking man. I fucking hate Ghosts.
Man, they're
I
so
don't
good.
like them. No, they're terrible. Are you kidding me? Ugh. That first record was okay, but after that, it's just been.
I think it got better and better after, honestly. That first was just kind of
Free-
all samey to me.
No, they went free falling. Like,
Got a lot better.
free falling, like huge nose dive, huge belly flop.
And that's that thing that
It's like,
everybody says, and
wow.
that's how you can tell no one's listening to him because it's like that's not at all what happened.
I have listened to Ghost. I'm telling you, I've tortured myself, like I said, listening to Rancid album after Rancid album and listening to Ghost album after Ghost album, and I'm just like, I can't get into it. I can't.
You
I'm
know,
pretty open. I'm pretty open, but certain things are just like,
it's okay. It's not for everybody,
Oh yeah.
and
it's
it's.
not for everybody.
I understand. We will not push Ghost on you because we do not need more Ghost fans. There's too many already.
Nick's the rational parent that's like, guy, it's okay, kids.
I'm just getting old at this point, man. That's crazy. And that's how I know I'm getting old. Like, I hate this, I hate that. I'm just like, ugh. Yeah, I have no patience for this shit. Oh, but
I don't know. I've definitely gotten more open as I got older to different music for sure.
well,
But there's
I
just
have
those things that I'll never like.
I've always been open to a lot of stuff. I mean, fuck, I love what shit. I'm trying to think of shit I love that Kenny's like, ew, really? There's a lot. We've talked about it.
Oh yeah.
I gotta go back into the feed and see the comments
Uh-huh.
because you would leave comments with like gifs. Is it gifs or gifs? Gifs, right?
I think it's gifts personally.
Gifs, yeah, gifs. Like gifs where you're like, or like some weird face, like that's a no for me, dog. You know, shit like that.
Oh yeah. I'm sure they're out there. I
What
don't
was
remember anymore.
Baby Metal was one.
Oh, I mean,
That
that's,
was yeah.
it's, they're a fun band. I don't know if I
It's
could
fun,
listen
yeah.
to the whole album.
No.
I'd be excited if I went to a show that they opened for.
That'd be cool.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't hate them or anything. It's just kind of
exactly.
No, it's like weird territory. It's like, oh, you look at me like, oh yeah, that guy's into that shit. You know? He's into that shit. Or like, I'm thinking of what else. Kenny doesn't like Tool, or most prog anyway.
yeah, but I'd say
Um,
anything touching proggy, you're gonna start to lose me unless it's really fucking good. Like
Or like shit,
Rush.
or like shit like yeah, or like shit like the Smiths. You know what I mean? You know, like that
Oh
whole
yeah,
80s.
I know what it is, like fucking pill.
Yeah,
Fuck that
there you
bitch.
go.
We're gonna do the post rock episode and all that. It's gonna be a good time. We're gonna do the new
You,
wave, post rock, all that stuff. We're gonna have to do an episode of that. Post punk, I mean.
I got a million things to talk about when it comes
Oh,
to that era because I
we're gonna do
love
that.
that.
And I'm gonna torture myself with a bunch of bad albums. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I can't wait to do that one. It's gonna
Well,
be
it depends what you it
good.
depends what you mean, but it depends what you mean by post rock. Are you talking about like Sigur Rós and that kind of shit?
I don't know what the fuck that is.
Never heard of Sigur Rós? Are they
No.
Icelandic? I think they're Icelandic.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
The band everyone
it,
loves.
it
Or like
looks like
Bjork.
fucking Sugar Ross.
Sugar Rós, like Sigur Rós. I don't know how it's fucking pronounced. I love Bjork. I don't know how you guys feel, but yeah, I love Bjork. That's what I've been listening to lately.
I love Bjork.
Fucking weird, but yeah, I love
I love
Bjork.
Oh, I'm from Iceland and I talk like this, and all the little fairies running around. It's
I love that shit.
nope, not into it.
Yeah, I know. It's fucking weird.
I like her. She's cool.
I like Bjork. She's very weird. I the accent was spot on from Nick.
That was very good.
That's
Thank you.
very good. That was very spot on. That's why I started laughing. But yeah, no, you're not
Very
into
good.
that. You still can't get into pill? Come on.
No,
Come
it's
on.
no.
It's
Oh, I
better than the
saved the
Sex Pistols.
video. Okay, yeah. I want to ask you that. Well, I don't know. Anyway, I
Better than the
saved
Sex Pistols.
I saved the video because like there was a video of like Steve Vai with him or something like that. Was Steve Vai in Pill for a minute?
Yeah, he played on that big hit, Rise. Was it Rise? Let the world rise with you.
That piqued my interest, so I saved it. I still didn't fucking find my way into listening to it yet, but I did save it so I can go watch that. Because I'm like, well, if Steve Vai's there, maybe I'll be interested.
Ah, fun fact. You know who else played drums on that song? The Let the World Rise with You. Ginger Baker.
No.
No shit.
Yeah.
Alive?
No, he died. He died. He's dead
Yeah.
now. But I'm saying like he played with Bill. Like John Lydon, right after the classic, like after Metal Box when all those guys left, like John Wobble and the guys that started the band, he started recruiting session musicians. They did an album in '86. Like if you get the LP, it's called LP. If you get the cassette, it's called cassette. But if you get the CD, it's called album. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
It's like
That's
Well,
it's
amazing,
son of a
though.
bitch,
it's
now I
weird.
have to collect all three.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, you get the LP, it's called LP. Or I think is it LP or vinyl? It's called LP. And then the cassette's called cassette, and the CD's called album. It's so fucking weird, but yeah,
No,
came out and
that's not weird. It's brilliant marketing. So you
it's
get all
brilliant.
the money.
No, it's weird for someone to do it, but yeah, it's very again, like you said, it's fucking genius. I dig it. Who Steve I played on it. Who else played on it?
Okay.
Ginger Baker played on it. I've warmed up to the Sex Pistols now, but I still think Pill's better. But you
Oh,
know,
well, that's good. At least you
Mm.
don't deny that. I mean, the first album starts a lot of shit, man.
Which one? The Sex Pistols, the one.
Yeah. Yeah, the one Sex Pistols album inspired a whole lot of shit, you know.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff don't happen without that.
There was two.
Yeah, there is another one, but it's kind of the
Great
one.
Rock and Roll Swindle.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
Rock and Roll Swindle. I have that one. It's like a blue cover, right? I think
Yes.
blue cover. Yeah, I have that one too. It's been a while since I've heard it, but I like some songs off it. On Nevermind the Bollocks. Bodies, really dig,
Yeah, it's great. Probably my
and
favorite.
Pretty Vacant's
Okay.
probably my favorite though.
Back to the unpopular opinion. I love that fucking album.
It
Which
seems to be
one?
the
The
unpopular
Nevermind the
opinion album
Bollocks?
now, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's it's good. It's important. It's I get why people hate it. Sid doesn't even play on that record, does he? No,
No.
It
No.
was Glenn Matlock,
I
if I'm
just
correct.
Yes,
Glenn Matlock, yeah.
Glenn Matlock is correct.
He did a band called The Professionals after that, which is really good if you guys haven't heard it.
Sid didn't even know how to fucking play the bass.
Yeah.
He was just
Sid
Go
didn't
watch
play
that
bass on
interview.
any fucking thing.
He
he
did it
just
too,
knew
by
how
the
to
way.
get high and fucking. They're like, okay, it's if you kind of do this,
He
then
killed that girl. He killed that girl.
Nancy.
He killed that girl. He
Sid
did
was a
it.
piece of shit.
Oh, big time. Big time. Go watch that interview where Lemmy talks about how he couldn't play bass to save his life. It's the funniest shit ever. He just goes off on Sid Vicious. It's funny. To hear Lemmy go off on him, it's just the funniest shit. Like he gave him a bass and everything, taught him some notes. Said he couldn't play shit to save his life.
He was too high.
Lemmy of all, like he went off on stage. I was like, oh, it's funny, hilarious. Never seen Lemmy go off like that. It was hilarious. you you don't think about it because Lemmy was he was gruff, but he was like he was I wouldn't say well mannered, but he was Lemmy. You know what Lemmy is, you know what I'm talking about.
Fun fact about Lemmy. Dave Grohl walked into the Rainbow Bar in Hollywood one night and saw fucking Lemmy in his spot playing his fucking video game. Lemmy had a fucking spot.
Yes.
I
Whenever he
think
walked
that's
into that damn bar,
yeah.
if somebody was in his spot, you had to go. So Dave walked in and was like, "Hey, man, I don't. My name's Dave Grohl. I don't know if you know me, but like you're one of my heroes." And when he was done playing his game, Lemmy looked over at him. First thing out of his mouth was, "Hey, man, I'm sorry about your friend." He was talking about Kurt.
Yeah.
I mean, and that was Dave's speech at his fucking funeral. And he was like, ever since then, me and Lemmy had become real good friends. Lemmy's a fucking good dude.
Yeah.
Or was a
Yeah.
good dude.
Was a good dude, yeah, for sure. I've seen him live, so Motorhead live many times. I got lucky. I don't think Kenny's ever seen him live. Have you?
No, I
Did you
never
ever see
got
Motorhead?
I never got
Yeah,
around to Motorhead, very
yeah. I
sadly.
got to see Motorhead. I wish I could have seen Filthy because I love Filthy Taylor. Love his playing. Fast Eddie, of course, is fantastic, but all the guys that have been there, even Mickey D is a great player. But you're right. You know, that's another guy that I was gonna mention, Dave Grohl. That it's so cool to hate Dave Grohl because he's fucking Dave Grohl, but
Who the fuck
Yeah.
hates Dave Grohl?
everybody does.
I
Trust
will
me,
fight them.
everybody that I know hates Dave Grohl. Dave Grohl's a fan. You know what I mean? He's just a music
Yeah,
fan.
he is.
He's a fan. Like he loves the metal. He'll
My problem with
never.
that though, okay, my only hangups with Dave Grohl at all is if he loved metal so much, why the fuck didn't he do it? And you can't go around bitching about mediocre radio rock when that's exactly what the fuck you do. Like he would go out of his
Because
way to
Dave,
shit on Nickelback and bands like that when he in fact is fucking in a band that's just Nickelback with street cred.
I have a theory why he never
Jesus
played metal.
fuck.
You
Wow.
gotta remember.
All right, we're
Nice,
back to
nice.
popular opinion time.
Yes.
That fucking hurt.
That's what is fucking Foo Fighters besides radio rock? It's all it is.
In a nutshell, yeah. I can't listen to that as much because
I mean,
certain
what it
songs are
is.
connected with certain people that I'd rather not remember or acknowledge that they were once, part of my life. But that's the reason. I think Dave Grohl can't say that he would love to play metal because I don't know. It's this weird thing with like old school cats. Like you're either a punk
But
fan
he
or you're a
has.
metal, or you're either a punk or you were down with the metal. I'm down with both.
Or are
Punk
you
saved
down
my
with
life.
the sickness?
Ooh,
I was waiting for it. Somebody had to say it. I was waiting for it. No, he came. He started in Scream, which a lot of people don't know. Like Discord era,
Yes.
Discord records, Scream, like towards the end of their life too. I have both those albums he was on. They're super fucking hard to find. Super hard to find. You can find Still Screaming on LP or cassette if you're lucky. You'll find a second one too. With I forget the name, like the yellow album cover. He wasn't on those.
No, Dave is a super cool dude. He's just absolute music fan. I totally appreciate him for that. And I like some Foo Fighters songs. I'm not saying I don't. I like a lot
I
of their
like him
stuff.
too.
I just don't like. I just like. Why would he go around shitting on mediocre? Oh, it's mediocre radio rock. Like that's what the fuck you do. You're the same thing.
Because
You're
it's
your
paying
own
me a
worst
lot
critic.
of money. That's why.
Sure,
Yeah, you're your own
and that's
worst
I don't
fine.
have
critic.
to try hard.
That's
I
fine.
don't have to try hard.
And that's fine, but don't shit on the other people doing that when that's what the fuck you do.
Exactly.
I wish he would start playing drums again. That's what I wish. Because that's where he's best at. That's where I need Dave Grohl. Fucking drums. I don't need him on a guitar.
He's a good songwriter. Great
He's a good
songwriter.
songwriter.
Fantastic songwriter.
He's got a great voice. He does have a great voice, but the Dave Grohl I love, like this isn't my Dave Grohl. The Dave Grohl I love will pound them skins. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck,
Real quick,
I
have they found anybody to replace Taylor?
haven't heard anything about that ever since.
Neither have I.
All I
Guys.
know is that he posted that they're gonna see you soon, so they're planning on it for sure. I know they're moving on. They're definitely gonna find a replacement. I don't think anyone's
They
said
have to.
who it's gonna be or anything. Yeah, I haven't heard nothing of who it's gonna be. Good luck to whoever it is.
Hey, what if it's Dave Grohl and he just Gets another guitar player, just focuses on drumming and singing. Be like the next Don Henley, you know what I mean?
I mean, it wouldn't be a horrible idea. It'd be kind of cool.
That's actually a suggestion. I just pulled that out of my ass just now. Like, just
I
get
think
I'm
another
thinking
guitar
Phil
player.
Collins.
Bill can't play drums anymore though. He's got that back problem and he's got something.
Arthritis.
Like, he's got like scoliosis or some serious, like for real. Like he can't play drums anymore.
And
So I
he's
heard.
really into collecting Civil War history shit now. So he doesn't really have an interest in playing drums anymore.
Phil Collins, yeah, he can't even do it anymore because
The
he'll probably
arthritis.
wind up. Yeah, he'll wind up in a wheelchair. I think he has scoliosis. Last I heard, I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, I really apologize because I read something like that and I was like, wow, that shit is serious. Like it's for real, for real.
Are we on Phil
Any Phil
Collins?
Collins fans that we might offend tonight, which we apologize automatically.
Yeah. Yeah. He's got something with his back though that just he can't play anymore. Like doctor's orders, like you can't play anymore. And I think this goes back to like I think when he first went solo or when Genesis came back and did those two horrible songs in the 90s. What were they called?
I'm still trying to
What
figure
was-
out how the fuck we got to Phil Collins. Where was I?
Well, Nick mentioned Phil Collins, but
I'm so
no,
tired. What the fuck happened?
Podcast. We're talking about Phil Collins right now.
Well, that's
Dave
fine.
Grohl's a better
I'm not against
Dave
it.
Grohl's
I'm
a
just
better
wondering how the fuck we got there. I
Dave
missed
Grohl's a
that.
great drummer.
That's a segue.
Better-
I just slipped right past me.
Good songwriter, amazing drummer. That's my take on Dave Grohl. Amazing drummer, good songwriter, but amazing drummer. He needs to play drums.
This conversation sounds like we have a pin board with a whole bunch of like yarn going around. It's like everything comes around.
Yeah, these episodes usually end
Yarn.
this way.
Yarn.
Especially when I'm hammered. These episodes usually end this way. It's just a mess after that. But it's fun. That's why I like to
what's
try
that
to get the
one
main topic
podcast
at the
break?
beginning, and then after that, it's just whatever happens.
What's that one Genesis song? It's fucking terrible too. What was it called? I Can't Dance.
Oh,
Oh, that's horrible.
I never hate that one as much as you do. I guess
Ugh.
it's all right.
I've never listened to too much Genesis, but I mean
I
I know
like-
those two that you referenced.
I
I
have
like Phil Collins a lot. I do
I
love Phil
have
Collins.
Lamb Over Broadway or whatever the fuck it's called.
Lamb Lies Down on Broadway.
Yeah, I have that back there somewhere.
That's my favorite one. That's Peter Gabriel.
Yeah,
That was the last one he did. Yeah,
I have
love
that.
Peter. Gabriel. I prefer
That's-
Peter Gabriel to Phil Collins musically, but I it's weird. I love Phil Collins too, but I just Peter Gabriel solo is such a huge part of my life, going way back. You know what I mean? Sledgehammer, I can play on repeat forever and never get tired of that song.
I mean, it
Everything
was a
is-
cool ass video.
It is.
Still a great video to watch. Like I've showed people that video and everyone's like, "Wow, what? How have I never seen this before?" Well, I don't know. You tell me. That's what I'm showing you. People still get wild over that video when they first react to it. I've seen it for years. I'm just sitting there like, it's the only time I've seen it. Doesn't surprise me anymore. Tom Waits though.
What the
Oh
fuck?
shit!
Oh, speaking of
Oh
Speaking of-
shit! We just lost Nick completely. I'm
so shit. Speaking of
Hold on.
speaking of singer songwriters,
sorry.
had the shuffle on today, and just whatever came up, I was like, fuck it. Roland the Headless Thompson Gunner came on shuffle today. I was
Oh,
like,
dude.
wow. Fuck. I haven't heard this guy in a while. Fucking Warren Zevon, man.
Yeah.
That is literally the greatest thing you put me on to ever.
Yeah,
Judas from
Warren
here
is
too.
amazing.
And I never even knew about him. I knew the name. I was like, I know what he looks like. Never checked out his shit ever. Like, I don't even know where to start. And then you told me about how your son got you into it. And then you put my shit's fucked up. I'll never forget. I was like, this
Yeah.
is the greatest shit I've heard in years. Why have I never listened to it? Then my friend Brian, who's also part of the page, he's like, "Oh, an Illinois legend." I was like, "That's right, he's from here." I'm like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, wasn't
He's
he the
got like,
guy on our page that said we got to get him to do a show with us? I think he was the one that said he wanted to do one someday.
yeah, definitely. I'll run it
We
by
got we
him.
got to line that up real soon. I'd like to do that. I don't know
Yeah,
what I
great
don't know
guy.
what he'd want to talk about, but I'm down for whatever.
He's into most of the stuff I'm into. Like he's into thrash also, and he's into death metal. So he's very into metal, but he's also big on punk stuff. He loves the Ramones. He
Did
loves
you
Nervous
say
punk,
threshold?
thrash, thrashall. No,
Okay,
thrash. I
I'm
said he
just making
loves
sure.
thrash and death metal. It's the accent. He's so weird.
No, because that sounds like a fucking
Fucking
super specific genre. And you
fucking
know,
Midwestern accents. Oh shit. No, it's weird. I do get those comments often whenever I go to another state. It's like, you talk too damn fast. Like, I'm sorry. I didn't even know I had an You don't know you have an accent until you actually leave your neck of the woods and you go to fucking wherever. And people are like, yeah, you ain't from here. You're not from around these parts. You lost, boy.
I,
So
I totally understand.
it's, yeah, yeah.
Moving from California to the South, Jesus
Oof.
fuck, was that the culture shock?
Huge culture shock. Oh my God. Went from Europe to here was a huge culture shock. But I was young. Even when I go back, I'm like, oh wow, this is where I come from. It's
Hey,
not as
Kenny,
shocking.
Kenny, you could edit all this out, but Jose, I got a question for you.
Ask away.
So, in California, we call them pochos. It's people who are you're Mexican who were born in America, but you still keep going back to Mexico, and vice versa. Do you have a thing like that? And it's like they're kind of racist to that. They're like you're either too Mexican or you're too American. Is that a thing?
Yes, it's a thing. No, I get what you mean. I've heard that word pocho before. That's where you're born here, you look Hispanic, but you don't speak a lick of Spanish, right? Is that what that is?
Yeah. Well, it's I mean, you speak a little bit of Spanish, but you're not Mexican
No,
and
Spanish is my first language. I'm extremely fluent in Spanish. I think I express myself better in Spanish than I do in English. Pero si te hablo en español y te lo digo con mi acento natural, no me vais a entender lo que te estoy diciendo. You know what I mean? ¿Sí?
no, I don't because you're talking way too
Exa-
fast. You have a little
Exactly. I just talked to you in my Spanish accent. No, what I said was, if I talk to you in my natural accent, you won't understand what the hell I'm saying, do you? That's what I said. That was me translating what I just said in Spanish. No, that is a thing. I know that shit. If I didn't speak Spanish, my family would outcast me. I would be outcast. I'd be a disgrace. My sister actually, God rest her soul, she passed away. When we were growing up, she didn't speak a lick of Spanish, and she was born in Spain also. But we came in '95. She was not a year and a half. She was an infant, and when she was growing up, she couldn't speak Spanish at all, and she used to get shat on by my parents for that shit. Like it was bad. Like you said, it was racism against that shit. Like you don't speak Spanish. Like, are you even my child? You know what I mean? That type of deal.
okay.
So she,
It's let me put a hard stop on this right now, and let's talk offline.
yeah,
I can stop the recording right now if you want and keep the video going. I can do that. Want me to do that?
That's up,
All right.
sir. It is your podcast. You
Well,
do what you want.
we'll wrap the show here as far as recording wise, and we can bullshit if y'all want or whatever. But thanks for
yeah.
everyone who joined tonight. We appreciate it. I just edited a bunch of stuff you probably didn't hear, and that's fine. But there
Oh,
you
I'll try the
go.
VR.
So we have some NoFX updates, and we had the history of Epitaph Records and all that fun stuff, and in a nice, very edited podcast version. So there you go. Thanks for listening. If you're still watching the YouTube video, thank you for sitting through all that because I can't edit videos, so everything that's recorded up to now is there. So thanks for joining us as always. We will see y'all next time. Thank you, Jose. Thank you, Nick, for all your time as always. We appreciate you
Thank
so
you for
much.
having me.
And
Thank you for
I
having me. Also,
appreciate you.
fucking love Kenny.
I love Kenny too,
Oh,
and
Kenny
his
loves
bullshit
y'all.
ass hot takes.
Well, we'll check y'all next time, and thanks to everyone for checking us out. See y'all later.